Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Pastor Scott Spencer, Dan Daniel, and Kelly Dario, talking about Hope House. So, boy, if you missed the first half, definitely, once this goes up on the archives, listen to that first half because it's a story that is just amazing how God's been involved with this for a long time as he was putting together lives, even your life, Dan, putting lives, bringing you two together. And bringing everybody to the church, introducing Dan to Scott and the church family even coming together. And now we're seeing that this house the land has been prayed over for so long, even before you had dreams about what to do with the house. And somebody even had Hope House on the key before this was even, and you dreamt that it would be called Hope House.
Right.
It all goes together. So now, what is that dream? What is the purpose, and is your vision, let's say, for Hope House now?
Well, I hope to see, like down the road, once we get it all done, is to have somebody that can help, like, around the clock. Like, somebody where you can go in and talk to somebody. A lot of people would come through the door there that would never come to a counselor's office or a place like that, because when you walk through the door, it's a really homey feeling. I mean, it feels like you're going to grandma's house for a piece of cake is what it feels like. Mm-hmm. It's very comforting. The whole thing is comforting. And, we expect to have a grieving garden. Kelly's working on a grieving garden. We're going to have pavers with people that have, loved ones that are passed away, engraved, and we're going to make a walking path. We're going to have a little waterfalls out there on that. Scott's going to finish his amphitheater at the top.
An amphitheater. Now, what's going to take place with that?
Well, what was always cool is that before we even started remodeling, even before Dan and Kelly started coming to the church, I'd take those prayer walks. And as I would go up, there's a slight hill, but as I'd go up the walkway, I'd look to my left, and there was like a hill that was cut out. Mm-hmm. And so I'd always look at it, and I think this would really be cool to do an amphitheater. And I, didn't really think a whole lot about it because it's, And so years later, basically got my chainsaw out.
That chainsaw.
Really?
Yeah, chainsaw.
Good at that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was fun. And then I went and rented a bulldozer. Yeah, and so we have a 200 by 150 foot amphitheater back there, which this spring we're going to put a stage there.
Oh, my goodness.
And out of it, what we see, to the question, is like night of worship. Mm-hmm. It'll be amazing back there. It'll be, I could see church services out there.
Yes.
I could see groups that want to get married.
Sunrise service.
Sure. It's so
any
cool back there.
Outdoor theater type things.
Absolutely.
We told Kelly we're going to have Mercy Me come out there and play.
Oh,
see, there you go.
Hear that, Mercy Me?
Right.
There you go.
We can see that too.
That would be amazing. Yes. Yeah. Beautiful.
It's really cool.
You've got a lot of dreams for this.
It's pretty cool.
What services take place there right now? As far as, are there counseling services, or what kinds of hope do people find by going to Hope House today?
We had a grieving class there. Mm-hmm. We do small groups from the church there. Yep. A lot of different things. We got to finish a few things outside and we'll have a lot of stuff there then. Yeah. I look for something to happen there every day.
And as of yesterday, we just received approval on our 501c3.
Congratulations.
So now we can move forward with a lot of these things that we've been waiting on. Mm-hmm. So we're really, really excited about that.
Well, let me jump in. Now we can move forward with fundraising.
Yes.
So what do you need? We've got some very generous listeners that I think would be really loving to be involved in this project.
Yeah, well, as Pastor Scott and Dan had said about the Grieving Garden, we're going to launch an ongoing fundraiser that will allow our community to a place where they can grieve their loved ones. Mm. And it'll be a special place for, those who we have lost.
Yes.
And we're we need a place like that. I did a lot of research in Ohio, and for loved ones who have been lost to addiction and really a lot of traumatic deaths, there really isn't a place for that. So we're very, very encouraged to be able to bring this to Stark County over the next year.
Do you have a website?
We
or is
have
it through
a Facebook.
Bethel? Is it through Bethel Church?
It
or?
is through Bethel Church at the moment.
Bethel Church, yeah.
Okay, and Bethel Church's website is
It's cantonbethel.org.
cantonbethel.org, and then you also have your own Facebook page
Yes.
for Hope House specifically.
We do. It's Hope House Canton.
Hope House Canton.
Is it Hope House Canton or Hope House Bethel?
But I bet
I think it's
I
Hope
bet
House
you could
Bethel.
Google that and land on the right place. It's
Yes.
either try both Hope House Canton, and then if that doesn't work,
Hope House
try
Bethel.
Hope House Bethel,
Yes.
and you will get there. But you keep us up to date on everything.
Yeah.
Could you give us an audio tour of the house? And this is just purely selfish on my part. I'm just cannot wait to see what it looks like on the inside now. Take us on a little tour. What do we find in all those cozy rooms?
So you're going to enter in probably through the side door, and there you're going to enter into a room that has been enclosed. It used to be an open porch. It has been enclosed over the years, and we use that room just as an overflow room. It actually holds our refrigerator and our counter space for our coffee pot because the kitchen is so small. And then you're going to enter into the dining room. And when Dan and I began the project, the dining room, the great room, and the kitchen were the three rooms that we transformed before we really told the congregation or anyone else what we were up to. Pastor Scott is a doer, and
Apparently, I've heard about a bulldozer and a
Yeah.
chainsaw.
yeah. And we wanted him to believe that we were going to come alongside of him to make this happen. And I really thought that the only way we could do that was to do that rather than to talk about it. So once you enter the dining room, you're going to see the kitchen to the right. We were able to maintain the cupboards. We cleaned them, restained them.
Wow.
And Pastor Scott did the flooring. I did the tiling. And
I watched.
What's
Dan
original?
did the electrical.
Oh, awesome. What is original to the house?
All the woodwork.
Really?
All the floors are white oak floors.
Yeah.
Wow.
If
So-
when you walk into the house itself, the entire house has these white oak floors that'll get your attention immediately. But I think the coolest part about it is that they don't squeak.
Oh, I don't know
There-
how
And
that can
was,
be.
that was the
Wow.
first, that was the
Stairs,
first thing that we said.
Nothing.
We said
Really?
So
we
tight.
cannot tear this house down.
No.
The bones are good. The bones
Really?
are so good in
Really
this house.
good.
They're better than in my house.
Yeah.
You know, they're just
Absolutely.
I
they're
can't
solid.
imagine no squeaky stairs.
When you
That's
come down
amazing.
into the first bedroom, down the hallway to your left, my sister, Patsy, she was in there and she's helped us paint and such. She had a sweeper and she was sweeping, and the mortar was leaking through the outside wall, and it had gotten wet. Well, when she was using the wet dry vac, she actually sucked off some of the plaster off the wall, and the plaster's put on right over the brick. There's no lath there on it
Yeah,
at all.
yeah. Oh,
So Scott comes over and goes, "Oh, well, let's just see how far." And so he starts scraping it. By that time, we were like halfway down the wall, and so we decided to go ahead and just scrape the whole wall.
yeah.
So we made the whole wall brick, and then I sanded it, and we put marine varnish on the outside of it, made it shiny, and it sealed it.
How cool is
So
that? Exposed brick is
It's really
the
cool.
best.
It's one of the coolest
Yeah.
rooms in the
It's
house.
really cool. The thing about it
my.
is that when we got all that off, and it's a mess. I mean, it's a lot of work. But the reality is that there were some bricks that were loose, and so we pulled a brick off, only to find that there was another brick that was loose, and we realized that this house was built 3 layers of brick.
Oh my,
yeah.
really?
So like when you're
So
in there,
good
even-
insulation.
Oh,
You know, it's
it-
15 or 20 feet off of that busy highway, and you can't even hear the cars.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's solid.
It
is so
It really
solid.
is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right. Well, you make me just now. I could go a million different directions here. So, how gratifying for you now to see you're really ready to. Let's let everybody know we're all invited over on the 22nd.
Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So to be able to share this with the community, how's that got to feel for you?
Oh, it's great. I'm real excited about it. We put a sign out there, and we invited, all is welcome. We're going to have Santa there from 3 to 6. I have a talking snowman that's going to be in one of the rooms before you see Santa.
Yeah.
We're going to have donuts and cookies, hot chocolate and coffee. Come and you can take a look through the house if you like.
Will you take donations from anybody coming
Yeah,
through?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sure. No, you're not going to turn that down, right?
Yeah, and we can actually write donation letters now with our 501c3.
That's
so-
what I'm talking
Yes.
about. So, what else do you need as far as a community being able to help with this amazing project in Hope House?
I think in the future we're going to look for volunteers. And
what would we do as a volunteer?
As a volunteer, you could help. I see some of our next projects coming up probably will be outside. We're going to need maybe people who have masonry experience, people who have, just basic construction experience, and anyone who wants to help plant, because we're going to be doing some landscaping in the spring. Those kinds of things. We've got one more bathroom to finish upstairs, and we're starting to work on that.
So, there was plumbing when you acquired this property?
Yeah, at one point, and then the kids, I assume it's kids, or
And took
an
the copper
individual came in
piping.
and cut everything off, even with the floor. So we've replaced it, not with the copper.
You were
For anyone
starting
that's
from
listening, it's all plastic.
So, don't bother.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No more copper.
No.
So, but you've got it up to code and everything now, and
Yes.
it's all modern.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
maintaining.
we tried to maintain the integrity of the
Yes.
1835 feel.
Yes.
But there were certain things that we had to upgrade
That's always good.
to make it practical and usable.
One thing I thought was really cool was when you go up to in the woods in the very back, they had a windmill up there that actually pumped water.
Wow.
And so I don't know if it was water to drink, I would assume, but I know it was for the cattle and anything else that was on that land. And so just this past summer, we went ahead and probably spent more money than we wanted to, but we didn't really know what we were getting into. But we now can get water out of that particular, pump or hole
Awesome.
that they originally built as well. So
Awesome. Take a look for that as well when we attend the open house now. Let's tell everybody the address. First of all, where are we coming on Sunday?
It's 5901 Market Avenue, North. I always say Northwest, North.
North and Canton.
And the time on Sunday, the 22nd of December, what time to be there?
3 to 6 p.m.
3 to 6.
And
All
if
right.
it goes past 6, we'll be
That's
happy
okay.
about that.
Stay until
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, my goodness. What a beautiful way to be celebrating during Christmas week, to see this
That's
home
right.
where so many, I'm sure, Merry Christmases took place and many, many more to come. Pastor Scott Spencer, Dan Daniel, Kelly Dario, thank you so much for what you do in our community.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.